are 5 things that your vocal director is not. Number 1, your vocal director is not necessarily your vocal coach, or what we call a voice trainer, who will generally teach you about the anatomy of the voice and how to improve your singing and your voice. They don't have to be. A vocal director is not there to help you become a better singer. Their role sits outside of training you. Number 2, your vocal director is not necessarily the choir leader, who would generally focus on scheduling and administrative tasks and logistics and even the band or uniforms and all of those things. The vocal director is not necessarily your choir leader. Number 3, the vocal director does not necessarily need to be the keyboard player or an instrument player. They don't need to know how to play any instruments, although they work closely with the keyboardist and the band. But your vocal director is not your keyboardist or your bassist or your guitarist. They should be 2 separate people. Number 4, your vocal director is not necessarily your music director. So those are 2 separate roles that really should sit separately. The music director would focus on the band, the musicians, the instrumentalists, and whilst the vocal director would focus on the singers and the vocals. Although they will work closely together, your vocal director is not your music director. Number 5, your vocal director is not the sound engineer. So you can't blame your vocal director if the sound isn't right or if your mic isn't right and all of those things. Now, when it comes to mic techniques and how to use the microphone and how to get the best out of your voice from the sound that you have, your vocal director will definitely teach you mic techniques and all of those things. But how the sound turns out is not on the vocal director. Now, I must note that in the rehearsal and even on the day of the performance, your vocal director is your go-to person for sound inquiry. So if your mic isn't working or if something isn't working in terms of sound, you can ask your vocal director to communicate to the sound engineer on your behalf, because they sit in between that. The vocal director is there to make sure that you are comfortable in terms of your mic and the sound, but they are not to be held responsible if it doesn't go right. I hope that helps.